Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Akshay and today I have another interesting SQL interview question for you guys, and this time this question was asked in Paytm for a senior analytics engineer, and the task was to find the employees who came back before 2 p.m. You all have been in your usual workplace settings where you sometimes take a break and go out either to sip a cup of chai or maybe have a smoke. And when you move in and out, you punch your details into the door that you enter through or exit. Okay. And that time is recorded, and that time or timetable is used to determine whether you stay or you are in the office within the particular time period. So the same logic was used by Paytm, and they wanted to determine how many people were back in office before 2 p.m. So this is how the input table looks like. It has an employee ID, an employee name, department ID, in and out. So basically in and out is nothing but it alternates to tell whether the person was in or out. Okay. And then you have the in out time, which time they were in and which time they were out. Okay. And this is what becomes the basis of how you find out which employees were back within a certain period of time. Okay. So being the input, this is the output that you need. So basically, after making my calculations, I get to see that Bob, Charlie, Diana, Fiona, and Hannah are the people who tend to be back at the office before 2 p.m. Let's do a quick check before that. Okay. So I see Alice is in at 9 a.m., 9 o'clock, then out at 1300, that is 1 o'clock. Then she came back in at 2 hours, 10 minutes. 14 hours, 10 minutes. Okay. By which standards? By the standard set, she is late, and hence her name didn't pop up. Similarly for Bob, he arrived early at 8:45 a.m. and then he was out in the office at 12:30, and then he came back at 13:15 hours. Okay, so he was back at 1:15. Okay, and then he went again outside at 17:45 or 5:45 p.m. Okay, so by that calculation, he is inside the office. Okay, similarly for Charlie, then Diana, then Fiona, and then Hannah. Okay, these people were back in the office by 2 p.m. And then this will be the basis of how we're gonna calculate our output. Okay, so I'll move back to the Postgres and show you the working behind the scenes and how you do it. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. So there I have my table already populated. Okay, and the interesting bit about this problem is that I'm gonna answer it in two ways. Okay, so it will be a little longer, but it will be very fun. It will open up a lot of logical nuances, and I hope you would enjoy this show. Okay, so I have this table and the table name being employee timetable. And if I do a select all in that, I'm gonna get the table. Okay, employee ID, employee name, department ID, in out, and the in out time. Okay, so first things first, what I'm gonna do is I can see I need the time. Okay, but this timestamp has a date as well as the time in a 24-hour format. Okay, by 24-hour format, it should mean the person should be back by 14:00:00. Okay, 1400 hours. Okay, so I need to separate the date and the time, okay, from this particular in out time column. Okay, and how I'm gonna do that is by using a toChar function. Okay, what this toChar is, it does is it takes a timestamp and then gives out the input according to the parameter given. For example, I need to convert my in-out time to, let's say, hours, then minutes, and then seconds. Okay, that's how I do that. Okay, I'll say as new time. Okay, and then I hit run. Okay, now you see 9 a.m. is 9 a.m. Okay, 1300 became 1, 1410 became 210, and so on. But I want it in 24 hours format because it's easier for me to do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is after double H, I'm gonna add a 24. Okay, this will make sure that the time format within the timestamp is taken in a 24-hour format. I'll run and show you. So you see now it's separated. 900 hours is 900, 1300 hours is 1300, 1410 hours is 1410, and 1800 hours is 18, and so on. So you got how this looks like. Okay, and now I can make the necessary changes. I mean, I can proceed for further. Okay, I'm gonna put this in a CTE as this, and then I'm gonna proceed further. Okay, I'm gonna do select star from CTE. Okay, from CTE, and yes, I get it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna input a case when statement. Okay, that whenever there is an in, I'm gonna say a 1, and whenever there is not in, I'm gonna say 0. Similarly, I'll have another case when statement for the out. Whenever there is out, I'll say 1, and whenever there is in, I'll say null or 0 for that particular column. Okay, I'll show you and you'll get to understand what I'm trying to say. Case when in out equals in. Okay, then 1 else 0. Simple. And as in flag, comma, and then I'm gonna give a similar case when statement. Okay, saying in out equals out, then 1 else 0. Simple as that. And I'm say end as out flag. The two flag columns that I've created, one for the in and one for the out flag. Okay, from CTE. Okay, but I need to filter that. Okay, and how will I filter? Since I want to find the employee who came back at 2 p.m., that timestamp or the new time should be less than 1400. Before, had it been before and 2 p.m., then I would have less than equals to 14. Since it's before, I'll be giving less than 2 p.m. or 1400 hours. Okay, I'll say where new time is less than 1400. Okay, this should be in a string format. Okay, else it will not catch. Okay, and then I'll hit run. Okay, so you see whenever they were in, that one is flagged as 1 and the outs are flagged as 0. Okay, and whenever they were out, that out schedule was inputted as 1 while in is as 0. So you have two columns, and on the basis of these columns we'll do the calculation. Okay, but before that I'm gonna show you a logic or make you understand a simple logic. Okay, I'll put this as CTE2 from this to this. Okay, select star from CTE2. Yes, it comes. Okay, so by doing this, what is the logic behind the working? Okay, so I know that I need to have the in time one more higher than the out time. Okay, so let's make you understand this logic. Okay, Alice was out at 9 a.m. Okay, it was in, so there is in one time. Okay, then she was out at 1300, that is another one time. Okay, wait, like let me make a separate column and I'll make it. So let's say in and out. Okay, so whenever Alice was in, the in flag was 1, and whenever Alice was out, the in flag was 0. Okay, and whenever whenever the Alice went out, the in flag was 0 and the out flag was 1. Okay, so, and that is before 2 p.m. or 1400 hours. Okay, so I can say Alice was out since her in and out time were same. Okay, her in and out time was same. She went in and then went out, but the end result was out and therefore she wasn't inside the office. Okay, but for Bob, if I say the in flag is 1, out flag is 0, then for the out flag is 1 and this is 0, in flag is 0, but then he came back at 13:15. Okay, that is 1:15. Okay, so the in flag is 1 and the out flag is 0. Okay, so by this logic he is inside the office. So in order to be inside the office, the in should be 1 point higher than the out office. So that is the summation of in minus summation of out should be equals to 1. The sum of ins should be 1 more than that of the sum out. Then only I will consider it inside the office. I hope you're trying to understand the logic here. If I am in once and then out once, that means I'm clearly outside the office. But if I came back within the stipulated period of time, then I am already inside the office. So if you see Alice's, she was once in and then out. Okay, then 0. This means she was outside the office. Okay, she was outside. But here in case of Bob, he was in once, then he went out, then he came back in. Okay, so he was inside the office and then I can simply say he was inside. I hope you are trying to understand what I am trying to explain here. The in should be the summation of ins for that particular person or for that particular employee ID should be 1 more than the summation of out. Okay, then only I will know that the person is within the office. I know it's a little bit confusing, but please, if you feel the need to recheck it again, you can go back and watch this video over and over again, and I promise the clarity will be clear. Okay, anyways, I'll show you how I do it in Postgres, and then I think the logic will be clear from then and there itself. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is since I've already made my calculations of in and out flag, I'm gonna say employee ID comma employee name. Okay, And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sum. Okay, I'm gonna do the summation of the in flag. Okay, the in flag column. Uh, let's give it as in. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the summation of out flag. Okay, out flag, and then I'm gonna call this column out. Okay, from CT2. Okay, and then since there is a summation involved, I'll do a group group by emp id comma emp name, employee id, employee name, as simple as that. Okay, and now the calculation starts. Okay, I'm gonna say after the calculation, the summation of the in flag should be, summation of in flag minus sum of out flag should be equals to 1. Okay, a little bit confusing, but if you go by and look, then you'll get the answer. You can take a look at this video over and over again for better clarity. Okay, I'll hit run and let's see. So there you have it. Okay, I'll do an order by emp id. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, so Bob was in twice and he was outside once. Okay, so basically before the set time period he was inside the office. Same with Charlie, he was inside twice, but his in flag, he went out just once and after that he came back. Okay, so he was inside the office. Diana had been inside the office and till 2 o'clock she didn't move out. Okay, that's why the summation of her out flag is 0, and therefore since if you do sum in minus out, then it comes to 1, and therefore she is considered inside the office. Same with the other two, they were inside, they came inside once, then they went out once, and then they came back. Okay, that is, they were twice inside the office, then once outside. So we can conclude that these are the employees that were inside the office by 2 p.m. Okay, a little twisted logic, but this is how we do. And then I'm gonna just skip it, this summation, not necessary. You can sum it later also without the, but again, grouping and having is important to do this kind of working. Anyways, the result will be shown. Okay, I had a comma here. So this is the final result that you get as per the calculations that you have done. The employees that were within the 2 p.m. are Bob, Charlie, Diana, Fiona, and Hannah. Okay, simple as that. This was one method of solving. Now I'm going to show you another method of solving, and this time I'm going to use a Windows function. Okay, so I'm going to comment this out. And I'm going to start afresh. Okay, I'm gonna say select star from employee timetable. Okay, timetable. Yeah, there you have it. And now I'm gonna do a fresh working on this table, and this time I'm gonna use a Windows function. Okay, and I think that will be a bit easier to explain, but then again, some people might find it easy, some people might find it difficult. But again, if you look at this video again and again, then definitely you will understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a lead. Okay, comma, I'm gonna say lead. I'm gonna say a lead function. And what am I leading? I am trying to lead the in out column by 1. Okay. So what is, so this thing will come in this part. Okay. I mean, it can come in this side also, but for every in, there will be a corresponding in, out, out, in, out, in, and so on. Okay. You'll see it once I do it. I'll say over partition by emp id, and then I'll say order by in out time. Yeah, and then I'm gonna say as lead time. Okay, I'm gonna run and see what I get. Yeah, so for every corresponding, so since this entire column has been shifted one up or upside, so I get for every corresponding in, there will be a out. For every corresponding out, there will be a in. For every corresponding in, there will be a out, and for every corresponding out or in, whatever the last will be some values, last values, that will be null. Okay, and I'll use this logic to derive the result for the employees outside back to office before 2 p.m. Okay, so but then before that, I'll also have to give a filtering. Okay, where to char in out time, okay, in 24 hours format in minutes and seconds is less than 1400 hours. 1400 hours 0000. Okay. Okay, so the timings after the 2 p.m. or 1400 hours are ignored, and we get the result like that. Okay, I'll put this in CT as this. Select star from CTE. Yeah, so this is what I get from the CT, and I'll work on this. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the last value of every employee ID or the employee name. Okay. So for Alice, the last is out and it's null. Okay. For Bob, the last value for in and is 1, and for lead time is null. Okay. For Charlie, the last in out is in and the lead time is null. Okay. And for Diana, the last value is in and the lead time is null. Okay. So did you see a pattern? Okay. The employees that are inside the office, the last value, the last in out time is in, while their lead time is null. Okay. Using this logic, I'm gonna work on the said employees to get what employees were inside the office before 2 p.m. Okay, I'm gonna say last value in out over partition by emp id order by in out time. Simple as that. As let's say last value 1. Okay, and then I'm gonna say last value of the which column? The lead time column. Lead time, time, over partition by emp id order by in out time as last value 2. Okay, and then I'll get the results. Okay, so what I got is for every in out, I mean for every employee name, there will be the last ID will be out null. Okay, I mean for Alice it's out null, for Bob it's in null, and for Charlie it is in null. Okay, same for Diana, in null, and that will be the basis of my calculation or to derive the final result. Okay, a little bit confusing, but don't worry, you'll get it. Just bear with me on this one. Okay, I'll put it as CT2 as this, bracket close. Okay, and then I'll do the final calculation here and you'll understand what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna say select star from CT2. Okay, and this is as usual the same calculation as this, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say employee ID comma employee name. Okay, from CT2 where my last value 1 should be in, and condition is important because that builds a solid relationship between the last value first column and the last value second column. Okay, and I'll say last value 2 equals out, I mean not out, no, not out, it should be is null. Okay, it should be null. Okay, since that person didn't go out before 2 p.m, it's already filtered here, and that's why it should show null. Okay, I'll hit run, and there you have it. The results are there and easy peasy. The same result: Bob, Charlie, Diana, Fiona, Hannah. Okay, Bob, Charlie, Diana, Fiona, Hannah. Okay, so it was nothing. So basically what I did was I took the last value in first column for the in out, and then the one that I had a lead time, okay, that I had done in previous CTE, the first CTE, that one. Okay, since the person didn't go out during that time or before 2 p.m. or maybe later, so that part of the lead time became null. Okay, and because of that the value was null in the last value for the second column. Okay, I mean the second last value column is null, while the first last value column is in. Okay, so this is how you solve these questions. I mean, two good ways of solving it. Okay, I know it's a little tricky to understand and it's definitely worth it, but again, both the approaches have two different sort of understanding between them. Okay, so I hope you like this video. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe, and share this video with your friends who are about to interview at Paytm for the set position or other positions as well. As per, say, as usual, keep learning, keep growing. I'll see you next time. Till then, happy working. Thank you.